to Lee County Pod. Our host, Pete Malignick, would you please introduce our guest today?
Thank you, Jack. Today we're visiting with Becca, Titus, and Brittany Embry from the United Way here in Lee County. And the annual Chili Fest is coming up to be held on Saturday, September 27th on Broadway in downtown Hobbs. And so we hope to talk with you all about that and find out some good things about it. This is the 33rd year of the Chili Fest, I believe, right?
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about its origins?
Okay, so I will start that because I got the pleasure of learning where the history came from. It actually started downtown, so we're taking it back to where it started. But it started downtown on Broadway with a bunch of oil field companies. So a bunch of oil field companies got together and wanted to do a chili cook-off. And for many years, they did this chili cook-off, and they would then decide who to donate the funds to that were raised. So it was handled the same way we do it today, except it was businesses that put it together. And then I don't know how many years they did that, but eventually after a few years they got tired of all the back end paperwork part of it, and so they decided to gift it to United Way. So they asked United Way to take that event on. And United Way, what we do already is that, like, we already vet out the nonprofits. We make sure their financials are good. We make sure our financials are good. Like, everybody is audited. They apply to be a non-profit partner in all the things. So when we do our campaign, this is already something of what we do. So the chili cook-off actually is our financial kickoff to our campaign of 2026 this year, that we go out and we go to businesses and we ask employees to pledge, and then we businesses also give us like grants and match funds. And so our campaign is $1.2 million, and the chili cook-off and all of the little pieces, Brittany will explain as we move on in this interview, go into campaign. So this is our kickoff, and then campaign funds up to 26 nonprofits that apply to us. So it campaign supports the United Way budget, the 211 budget that's under United Way, and then any of those 26 nonprofits that have already been vetted out by doing their audits, making sure their finances are clean, and then us making sure they're doing with the funds that they're supposed to be doing. Those funds go there. So it's kind of a overall circle of things that happen, but the chili cook-off is the beginning, and it's an actual fundraiser for all of the nonprofits.
Mm-hmm. And various people bring chili. And
Yes. And so I'll let Brittany kick it off because it actually starts on Friday. The the pre-kickoff to the Chili Fest starts on Friday. So she's gotten creative on how to make people want to come back out on Saturday.
Yeah, so on Friday we will kick off with food vendors, product vendors from all over, vendors from the community. They will set up and they will sell their products, and then we will also have a concert from a local band. And then we are adding something new this year. We are bringing Chili Idol, which is a karaoke fundraiser. So they will pay a fee to get in, but then we're also going to make it very competitive but fun in a way where the audience can participate, so they can donate to either get them off stage, to keep them on stage, and all funds raised that night comes back to our campaign. But then we are also taking it a step further with, we're teaming up with one of our nonprofits, Light of Lee County. They are a nonprofit that doesn't have staff, so they are just fully ran by volunteer board members. So used to, they would have the Light of Lee County Walk, where you would, I believe it was out by Harry McAdams. Mm-hmm. So we're going to bring that downtown on Friday night, where you can buy the
Luminaria bags.
Yeah.
It's a survivor walk in memory of cancer. So it's the cancer walk.
So we're going to have that Friday night. So we'll have that. We'll have a concert. There's going to be so much food, shopping. And then the next day we will kick it off at 8 a.m. with our Project Heartburn 5K. We are adding a 3K, so 3K, 5K run to kick us off, and then right at 10 a.m. we will start the competition. And kind of like Becca said, they will provide everything. They will they have the option of entering into 7 different categories. That's chili, brisket, ribs, open sides, dessert, and even drink. So there's variety for everyone. And then we will have a touch-a-truck, which we had last year. It's different organizations around the community, so fire, police, SWAT, everything brings their vehicles, and the kids get to go inside, they get to look at it, get to learn about it. Kids loved it. So we're going to bring that back. We're going to bring back our Kids Zone. That's going to be at the Boys and Girls Club this year since they're right across the street. And then, of course, you get to meet all the nonprofits. So Saturday is more reserved for our nonprofits than anything. They get to tell their story. They get to say what they're doing in the community. And, we're help raising money for them, but we also want them to be a part of it as well.
So that will all be starting this coming Friday?
No, in September.
Oh, okay.
Yes, the
September,
day before.
Yeah, so it's a 2-day event, so September 26th and 27th.
Yeah, and you're really doing a great job of getting the word out about it too.
Thank you.
Helping a little.
Yes, you are. We appreciate every time you share and tell us you share. That boosts our algorithm.
Yeah.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure to do that. You had mentioned the fire department, the police, and one other group where the kids can go.
Yeah, so last year it was actually a fun little competition between the sheriff's department and police department on who could bring the most items and who could bring the most, in their words, toys. So that was fun. I think they're probably going to bring that back again this year. So you'll have a fire truck, you'll have SWAT, you'll have ATVs. We also had a moving truck last year from United Realty. And so this year we're already starting to grow it a little more. There's other organizations that are like, hey, we have this equipment. Can we bring it out for the kids? Absolutely. It's free. There's literally something for everyone. You have your Kids Zone, because if the kids are having fun, the parents are going to want to stay. But then you also have your car show going on. So we are utilizing every inch of downtown Broadway by City Hall to make sure that there is something for everyone.
Just out of curiosity, I used to work for a long time with the Humane Society of Lee County. Are they going to be doing anything?
I don't know. That would be a cool thing to reach out and see if they did like an adopt a pet or something event. They've been doing a lot of those
and we're definitely, we're definitely open to it since Saturday is reserved for those nonprofits. But yeah, we'll definitely reach out to them.
Yeah, that could be a welcome addition and to get people interested.
The animals are fun.
Yeah.
Well, and I see your question about the audio competition. So adding to what Brittany was just talking about, my husband is involved in sound competitions, him and my son, and so they're friends with the people that host them regularly. So when they saw our stuff out and that we were having a car show, they reached out to my husband and said, do you think United Way would allow us to have a sanctioned audio competition down there also? And some of the proceeds will go back to United Way. We'll donate proceeds back to that. But it is like a state sanctioned, like they get points in their system and all this stuff. And so we figured a way to like make it to where it wasn't in the area, but around the area. So the car show will actually be in the City Hall parking lot as far as like where you would go to park to then go into the city. It's like right there by the annex, the EDC, the City Hall, like where you pay your water bill. So that area is where the car show cars will be set up in. And then the city employee parking lot where like the employees park, where they had Gus Macker and all of that, that's where the chili cook-off will be. So right across, like in the area like where Options Inc. is, that's where the lineup for the sound competition will be. So they'll have like a tent set up and you drive through the tent and then you turn your music on and it basses, and they have the little meter that says like what it hit, and so it's like that. And so that's what that is. And then they'll give part of the proceeds of that sanctioned event where people are getting their points, they'll give that back to United Way. So we're excited. This is the first year we're adding that on, so that's exciting also.
Where would the run go around? I'm sure you have a course laid out.
We are still finalizing that map. We also will be working with the police department as well to make sure there's safety. But from what the history behind it was Project Heartburn used to be on Broadway. So they kind of already have a layout there. We just need to make sure that it's still doable and that it's still safe. And so pretty soon we'll release that map.
But just straight down Broadway
Yeah.
for the most part. I think from Del Paso to Grimes is 2 miles, maybe
Yeah.
something like that. And so we're going to try to work with how to make that lap around and work. But
Yeah.
we're using something that already has existed, so we're not recreating any wheels there.
Yeah.
I was with the Lee County Museum for a good number of years, and we did a lot of runs that would go. Some of it.
I did those runs.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Some of it, I think some of it was a marathon,
It
as I can
was.
remember. Yeah.
I did the half marathon. I wanted to do the full, but you started in Lovington and ran to Hobbs. I did the half one, but yeah, that was at the museum. I remember
Yeah.
when they did that, the
Sure.
Texas New Mexico Marathon.
And yeah, I wonder, they might have an interest in doing something with the chili cook-off.
Yeah,
You never know.
maybe. Yeah, absolutely.
Now that I'm no longer on the board, it's easy for me to say to get the other people
Yeah.
to do the work.
Exactly. That's how it always works.
So basically, overall, what can people expect when they show up at the Chili Fest?
They will expect fun. They'll expect fun, food. There's going to be a lot of food, so please bring your appetite. And that's one thing that we are definitely trying to make sure it's understood. There's a lot of people reaching out about signing up for the competition and signing up, and we love the interaction with that. We love the inquiries about that. But you are making enough food for the competition, but also enough for the public as well. And so you get all these different ideas. Last year, we added the drink category, and Lee County State Bank actually won that one. And they had, you just seen
The
everybody
pineapple?
walking around with pineapple drinks.
And it was like a real pineapple.
Yeah.
And then they put the stuff inside the pineapple.
So
It was amazing.
The creativity behind it and behind all of the entries when it comes to the cook-off is so unique to see that everyone's pouring their heart out into these dishes to sell to help us raise money. So it's an all-day thing on Saturday. Like, cancel your plans, make plans with us. But also on Friday, it is also our Gold Day, as long with the Hobbs High School. It's their football game, so we're encouraging everyone to wear gold on Friday. Stop, get something to eat. If you're not going to go to the football game, stay with us. If you are, still stop and eat. And then on Saturday, the theme is going to be Back to the Decades, so you are more than welcome to dress up. Pick any decade and just dress up as it.
And the booths will win a best design, like best decoration,
Yeah.
best presentation. And so the booths that go all out on the decades will win bragging rights and a trophy also.
Yeah.
And then also to add to that Go Gold, it's actually a community, all of Lee County, we're encouraging them to wear gold for also the reason of childhood cancer awareness is the month of September. And so in Lee County, our Childhood Cancer Awareness Day is September 26th. And so we have, it was deemed by the city commissioners, they did a proclamation many years ago on that. So United Way tries to help Light of Lee County push that out and get the message out as one of our partners, because we feel like childhood cancer awareness is so important, because until you've been affected personally by a child having cancer, you really don't understand it. And so we do that for September, Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and then we help in October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and so it's Paint the County Pink. So we kind of try to help in that. So it has a little home at United Way, and pushing that forward. So it happens to coincide on Friday night, September 26th. So we're asking everybody to wear gold that whole day, post it on socials, like with childhood cancer awareness, and come out for that. If you can sing, great. If you can't sing, that's fine too.
Yeah.
Like, it's just going to be a lot of fun. Last year was the first year we did the Food Truck Friday. And so it was like food trucks came out on Friday and they cooked and they sold and they pay a vendor fee to be there. And so this year Brittany opened it up even further to like other vendors to come out, sell their things, and then they still pay us a fee, but they also get to make money. And so then on Saturday, it's just nonprofits and the cooking teams. Like, we reserve that for our nonprofits that are under our umbrella, so they can also tell their story of how United Way campaign helps them keep their doors open. So it's just like this full circle of things happening, and it gets the everyday person to say like, hey, I'm part of that. Like, I gave to that. I'm helping keep their lights on. I'm helping, and maybe it's just $10, maybe it's just buying one bowl of chili, but in buying that, you're doing more than just buying a bowl of chili. Like, you're helping buy a backpack for a kid from the Weekend Hunger Initiative program, the Y Hobbs program. Their backpacks are $6, and to stuff those bags go home to kids on the weekend that might not have food to eat. So you think about buying a bowl of chili for $6, you just supported a child that might not have food on the weekend for $6. And so you're making a big difference by just coming out and being part of the event. And we believe you make activities and events for kids, and they will bring their parents. And so we're trying to have a lot of activities for kids to want to stay there and want to be part of it. And so the Boys and Girls Club is helping us tremendously with that, because they're one of our partner agencies also. And so it's just really a full wraparound, happy-go-lucky, feel-good kind of weekend that you can be part of.
And it all begins with getting out the door and getting there.
Yes.
And with that in mind, what about the parking? I'm always concerned when I go to a big activity about, will there be ample parking?
There will be. It will be around the city hall, however. It will be at that, we met with engineering on this because they too had these same questions. But how the Gus Macker was set up in the parking, like around Houston Middle School, and then some of the churches, they allow parking in those parking lots, and then you just walk over. It's not far to walk over. There's another little area right on the corner that has like some dirt lot parking, and so it will be just finding your way. But down on Broadway, like, they're starting to do more events down there all the time, so people are starting to get used to that, which is fun.
Yeah.
They are, trying to bring downtown alive again, and it's been fun to watch that happen.
In the recent years, it was at the event center?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, except when it very first started, it's been downtown. But yes, right now the parking lot is completely torn up at the event center.
Yeah.
So
But it's great though to get more people to come downtown.
Yeah, we love both of the places to have it, and so we know for the next 2 years we will for sure have to do it downtown because of the event center. However, we like both locations.
Yeah.
We work very well with the county. Jim Kemp and his people are amazing, and then Todd Randall and Manny Gomez, their people have been amazing. The recreation parks, it's just been a great, when you tell them like, hey, we want to put on an event and this is what we want to do, they're like, let's walk you through the process, help you get started, and then have fun, and they want to be part of it too. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little about some of the nonprofit groups that will benefit from the Chili Fest?
Yeah, so kind of who we had there last year, we had Center of the Arts, we had Boys and Girls Club, Options, CASA, and mind you, they get to bring their own games and their own activities and sometimes their own raffles. So they're also supporting themselves while they're there as well. We had Heart's Desire, the Restore, Habitat for Humanity, we had almost all of them there. I think we were missing about 3 last year. So out of the 26, we didn't have 3 there.
And they don't always have to apply. They are our nonprofit partners always, unless they say, we don't want to be a partner anymore, which that very rarely happens. It has happened in the past. However, most of them stay under our umbrella. Even if they don't have to request funds for a certain year, maybe they got a state grant or a government grant or something happened. We do know My Power said this year, like, hey, we don't have to apply for a grant this year. We're good. But they're always welcome to be there. But they're not required to be there. They're welcome to be there. Now, if they're requesting funds from United Way's campaign and they know they are, they have to be there, because the whole concept behind it is for the community to know who they are and what Chili Fest is going towards. And so we want their face out there. We want people to say, like, hey, Casa, what do you do? Like, I've heard stuff, do you work with CYFD? Like, people get it confused. So they can ask those questions, like, what is your relationship with that? How do you guys help the kids in the community? And so Casa gets to tell their story firsthand, one-on-one to individuals. Same thing with, like I mentioned, the Weekend Hunger Initiative, the Y Hobbs backpacks. Like, Leslie will get to say, like, here's what we're putting in the backpacks. Here's how we changed this. Here's, why this food matters. And here's how many kids we're serving. And then we have one, she's a newer one within the last few years, Sissy's Food Ministry. She helps the elderly. Like, she goes out to the nursing facility and the nursing homes, and then also to seniors' homes that have been identified that need some food. And so she takes them food boxes and a warm meal. And so she can say, like, here's how you're supporting seniors in Lee County. And most of all of our entities are Lee County as a whole, not just Hobbs. And so, which United Way is too. United Way, we serve the entire county. And so that's just a little bit of who they are, but they deal with kids, food insecurity, maybe some housing insecurity, the arts, education. We have education nonprofits, and so we have a little bit of everything under our umbrella. And our whole goal at United Way is for health, education, financial security, and resiliency, community resiliency. And so how we can make our community a better place, those are our 4 pillars, and those nonprofits fall under all of those in some form or fashion.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Speaking of the arts, Jack and I just did a little pitch on Facebook for our Lee County NM Voices Open Mic Series. We got the podcast series, which we're doing, and then the open mic series, and we're really trying to court young people.
Yes.
Teenagers, people in their early 20s, and we've had some of those, but we would like to really get more of that kind of audience to encourage these young people to express themselves, and in an environment that's very supportive of what they're doing, not judgmental.
Yes, well, I can connect you to David Blackwood. He's the executive director for Lee County Center of the Arts, and he's like all about, and it's all forms of arts. So you have arts like we think of, just like drawing and painting, that you guys know. There's so many different forms of arts in general. And so David at Lee County Center of the Arts, he's been there for a year now, but he has background in podcasting, in music, in drawing, and so he knows like that is like a full range of arts. And so he gears some things towards kids, teens, and adults. So tomorrow night at Lee County Center of the Arts, we get to go be part of what's called Nerd Night. And when he hosts a Nerd Night, it's like a
Trivia.
A trivia.
Yeah.
And so this month's, it was rescheduled, but it's friends. And so you have a team of a max of 4 people. It's kind of like Jeopardy. You get to phone a friend or get a free whatever. And you get to compete for, I think it's $300 or is it $400
I believe
per team?
it's 400 per
For the team.
Yeah.
And you get to compete for like who knows friends the best and who wins. And so that's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That's tomorrow night at Lee County Center of the Arts. And so he just reaches people from all different genres of life.
Is Mecca one of the nonprofit groups?
No, they're not under our
okay.
umbrella. I think they have some state funding. Also, we do work with them when they have cases that they need to resource out. They'll call us and say like,
Oh.
hey, we have, a mom that needs a car seat. We don't have anything here. Can you help us locate one down? And we will help them. But they're not an allocated partner, but we still partner with them all.
Yeah, because we've had one of their assistant directors, Jackie Mulkey, has been
yes.
a guest on this podcast series twice,
Oh,
and she
wonderful.
has gotten kids to come to the open mic and display their artworks and talk about them.
That's
And
very cool.
as a matter of fact, Jack's daughter Grace has done that too. With so it's not just performing
Right.
arts, but for
Talking about what you do.
a wide variety of things.
To interject here, a question that arises is, what are the challenges that have surprised you in trying to put all this together?
So last year, this is my my second year into the position, or my second Chili Fest, and so just having experience with the first one, I don't want to say challenges, maybe something where we had to pivot real quick and come up with a new idea, but it was never really any challenges. Last year was absolutely amazing for my first one. I think all said and done, we raised about $27,000. And so my goal is obviously bigger this year. I know we can hit it. But sometimes you do run into that, like, you have something planned and it doesn't work out. For example, this year we were wanting to have a bigger band for Friday night kickoff. We just didn't realize everything that goes into booking and like a big band. You have to get with their agent, you have to get all this. And then obviously the funding behind it. And so we kind of took a step back from that and we're like, you know what, a local band will be great. That gives them exposure. You're supporting locally. And next year maybe we'll start earlier trying to get a bigger band there. But I don't think we've ran into any challenges that made us throw our hands up and be done with it. We just learned to pivot in a way, okay, that didn't work. Let's try it this way, and it works. So we're really excited this year. And also something I didn't mention is this is United Way Lee County's 65 years. So we are celebrating 65 years of United Way of Lee County.
Wow.
Yeah, so we will be having, it's still in the works, but the idea is to have a ribbon cutting with all the chambers of Lee County to kick us off for Chili Fest after the 5K run.
Cool.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
And building off of that, a challenge so for United Way, we're not allowed to campaign. We're not allowed to be part of any of the campaigning piece of it.
Yeah.
We're really bipartisan. We love all of our localities. So one of the things we decided this year was to create a booth that says meet your local representatives. And so we're inviting our local representatives from city, county, and state to come and be at the booth, and for people to be able to ask the question. So we can't really have any of the ones like running for the positions right now, whether it be mayor or commissioner or whatever. They can't be there campaigning per se, but the ones that are currently in offices now, they can come and say like, say I want to go be a city commissioner. What qualifications do I need? How do I, be a city commissioner when a position opens up? What will my job look like? And so, maybe having a representative there from the state, like our local state representatives, having them there. What does it take to be a representative or a senator? What does that look like? So that's a new thing we're adding in this year. And we just are doing an open invitation to city, county, and state, and whoever can come, we realize their schedules are busy, can come and be part of that, like maybe register to vote, maybe tell me what that looks like. What do you guys do up there? How does that look? And so that will kind of turn into anything, but we're excited to add that piece to it. So it's not like you're not going to get the whole political thing, because we are not about that at all. But we do realize we want people to be educated in that area also.
Such a good idea.
And then just have it bipartisan and fun and light is one of the things
We're aiming for.
Yeah, we're aiming for this year. So we're excited for that.
Great. Now, you had mentioned Heart's Desire, one of the nonprofits. They're located in Lovington?
That's correct.
Yeah.
They also have a Hobbs home.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they have it in both places.
Oh, I didn't know that. Is that a recent addition for them or expansion?
2 or 3
Yeah.
years. Yeah,
Okay.
it hasn't been for very long. It's actually a woman's home, recovery home. And then the boutique and the thrift store and all of the things in Lovington support that also. And they still have their meetings and things in Lovington. So they have a split nonprofit also where they do 2 different things, but it's still under the same mission. Just the home in Hobbs supports the recovering women that are addicts and recovering addicts and giving back. It's the coolest thing.
Give somebody a hand up because someday you may be that somebody.
Absolutely, absolutely. The world is ever changing.
Yeah, and in regard to some of the other towns in the county, do you know off the top of your head of any nonprofit groups, say in Tatum, Eunice, Jal?
Eunice has a weekend. They have a pantry, a Eunice food pantry, that they also help kids that might need food for the weekend. It's not called like a hunger initiative, but they do have something there. And then we do help where needed. Brittany put together a Thanks for Giving event that is kind of like our Project Feeding Families, where we go to the different communities during Thanksgiving, and we work with the Salvation Army to put boxes of food together where they take it home for the week. And so we do that in every single community that we go to. But we're always looking for people to apply to be new nonprofits under our umbrella. They just have to have their financials in order, and they have to have been a nonprofit for a year or more, and then they have to have like an audit or an agreed upon procedures done. So a higher level of financial statements, just to make sure they're in good standing. Because when you give United Way your money, your hard-earned working money, we want to make sure that the nonprofits are doing with it what we're all telling them they're doing. So United Way also has to have an audit. We have an audit every year as well, to show where our money is going also.
Well, it sounds really good. But,
Thank you.
But I'm thinking too, it wasn't all that long ago when Becca, you and I and Robert Guthrie, who heads up Option, were all employees of New Mexico Junior College. And with that in mind, is the Junior College or University of the Southwest involved in any way in the...
Trying to get back into the USW. They had some changes in administration and things of that nature. So sometimes when that happens in any business, you lose that connection piece. So Ryan Tipton, the president out there, he's always so great, and it's like, okay, Becca, whenever you guys need anything, like, let us know. So I'll be reaching back out to him to see about doing presentations at the USW. We're actually going out there this weekend for their resource fair. Their students come back to campus, so we're going to be part of that. And then the JC, yes, the JC is always involved in our campaign and in giving, pledging. We got to go out at this beginning of the spring semester. We went out and did a presentation there. And so we'll just figure out what that looks like for the interim president. Now, there's a new president from the last
Kathy
time we
Mitchell.
were there.
Yeah.
Yes, Kathy.
Yeah.
And so I actually sit on the NMJC Foundation board. And so they get to ask questions on, what we're doing and how to plug in. So it's just a full circle kind of thing for me too.
And the junior college may be able to help with just some of the physical setting up of things because there's a lot to set up.
athletes.
Yeah. So
You wanna talk about that part?
So last year when we had Chili Fest out at the event center, I had this idea for a hay maze. It's fall. Let's kind of get into the fall feelings, vibes. And so we had a company, Hungry Critters. donate, oh my gosh, 400 bales of hay. And so we got the boys basketball team and the girls basketball team came and they set it up in a maze and they worked together, and
We had no idea what it was going to look
we
like.
told them we have no idea, and y'all go crazy, and they just started working together on like, oh, put it right here, put it right there. I think it took them, all of the boys and girls, it took them maybe an hour and got the whole maze set up.
And they were so cute because they said, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm playing Minecraft here. And I was like, the one time where a gaming thing applies to real life. It was really cool when they said that, because my kids Minecraft all the time. And so I was like, oh, this is so cool. I had no idea what Minecraft looked like and how to play the game. So to take those students with, you know, their gaming abilities and things, and then the kids loved it. They came out the next day to play. Now we're not doing that this year because it was a lot. And so, yeah, we don't really know where to put that on Broadway. But last year it was really cool to have, and they help us all the time with everything. They've already reached out.
Yeah, and they were actually our volunteers of the year for our Inspired Giving at the beginning of the year. Our Inspired Giving meeting banquet, it's an open board meeting that we invite the community to, and we actually awarded the boys and girls basketball team of the JC our volunteers of the year.
That's how much they volunteer with us. A lot.
Oh, great.
They're really good.
Yeah.
Their coaches are awesome in connecting. The boys had already made it back to the States, because a lot of them, are, from different countries. And they were like, okay, the boys are back. We're ready when you're ready. We're like, oh, well, we don't have anything yet, but we have Chili Fest coming up. We'll be sure to get with you. So those coaches are just amazing out there.
Yeah. They even helped with our MLK, giving out food. They gave out boxes of food to individuals that drove up. And it's almost just like a text away, like, hey, are they available? Yep, tell us when and where.
Yeah, and they bus them out there to us wherever we're at. Here comes the JC bus.
Yeah.
Unload the players, go back and get the other team.
Yeah.
They take turns.
The term that comes to my mind is community teamwork.
Absolutely.
It's what it is.
Because we can't do it by ourselves. We are a staff of 3 full-time and 3 part-time, and that's it. And you see our events, how many events we have, all the things we go to. It is exhausting and it's a lot of work, and so we cannot do it by ourselves. We have to have people like you guys have us on podcasts. Like I did a video shoot right before I came to this, just the audio piece of it for our campaign video. Lee County Center of the Arts, David is helping us prepare and put together so we can present at our presentations. We ask for volunteers to come with us to presentations, to go to the different companies, to ask them to give. So it just takes a lot of everybody. We can't do it by ourselves.
Sure.
So we appreciate this opportunity.
Certainly a worthwhile thing to do.
Yes.
Jack, anything to add?
Well, what comes to my mind, you as residents of this county, what gets to you? What breaks your heart? Or what gives you immense joy?
I think would be here all day on the things that personally gives me joy, but it's being able to help maybe that single mom pay her bills, or giving someone a food box during the holiday season that they didn't have enough for the whole week of the kids being out of school. So there's not just one particular thing, because United Way does it all, and we have our hands in almost everything, but looking at each one of our nonprofits and what they do is what brings me personally joy, because they are on the ground doing the hard work, seeing some of the rougher stuff than sometimes we do, but it's knowing that they're there to help helps me feel better that what we're doing.
I think to echo off of that, what Brittany said, that gives me joy, I will say, so my daughter is 19. She is in her senior year of college. She did the early college program at the JC, and she is on her second nonprofit job. She works at Options for Robert, and she's like their social media person, and to see that I've loved my job and my community enough that my daughter wants to follow in my footsteps, that gives me the most joy ever, is that she's chosen nonprofit to be her it thing too. At 19, I didn't decide this life until I worked at the JC and started volunteering. And so to see young people want to be energetic and enthused about that makes my heart just so happy. I will say the one thing that breaks my heart that we haven't figured out yet is we're in a housing crisis here. Our homelessness is rising here, and we don't have a solution for that yet. We have some Band-Aids that we can put on it, and we do that well, and we do it frequently with our other nonprofits, Salvation Army and United Way. They work hand in hand on, homelessness option even. Robert started packing these backpacks for homeless to have a backpack. That is just something, right? It's just a Band-Aid. And so right now, that's the part that we sit at the table with all these different councils, and we meet and we discuss, and we're getting somewhere. It's just that part is hard because you have to turn people away and say, that's all, which in saying that's all, at least it's something, right? But I don't want to live like that, and I'm sure they don't either for the most part. There are some that you find that they want to be out, they don't want rules, but the ones that are homeless because the rent is too expensive and they have kids, that stuff's hard. That's the stuff that you maybe lose sleep over at. What can we do better? How can we do more? Where can we get funding? That is the hard part. But on that flip side of that, I know, because we get to see inside the things that are working to solve those problems. So I know the problems are being worked on, not as fast as we would like, obviously. It's not an overnight thing, but at least we get to see that part. But those are the hard things in the community.
Sure.
Yeah. And I would definitely say, so last year our goal was 1.2 million, and we were only 16,000 away from hitting that, so that was heartbreaking. So that's why we're definitely adding more things.
That's pretty close, though.
It's very close.
But we were so close, so that's why almost we're adding more stuff this year to maybe fill in the gap that we missed last year.
Yeah, it was the biggest campaign that we've ever had, though. Like, we made more in history than we've ever done before, and so that was exciting. But then on the flip side, when we get the applications from all the nonprofits and the things that they need, we look at it and we're like, oh my gosh, we're never, you're just always working to keep doing more and to keep plugging in the community, because the community's dollars from their paycheck pledge, that's who funds this campaign. Yes, we do get big dollars by the JF Maddox Foundation, Urenco, Excel, Lee County State Bank. They do like what's called matches. So whatever you give, those organizations give a match to that. If you give, they have certain parameters and rules. Even like your small, like Lavelle Insurance, Daniels Insurance, they all do company matches. And so that's really exciting. And then the people that give, that's where it's at. Is if we did not have the people giving out of their paychecks on the paycheck pledge, there's no way we would ever hit 1.2 million. We can put on as many events as we want to, but if the people in our community didn't step up and get behind it also, we couldn't do it. So we're always so grateful for the everyday person.
And we're certainly grateful for you.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
No, nothing else. We're just real happy to have you here.
Yes,
and
thanks for having
hopefully
us.
we can have you both back again.
Yes, we have a ton of stuff going on. So anytime you see something on our Facebook and you think it's an interesting topic to bring us back, just ask and we'll fit you in, because we enjoy this.
Our pleasure.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us for Lee County Pod today. For everybody here, good day and have a great week.